you a hairstylist or creative and you're trying to decide what website builder to use? Well, you're in luck. I'm Ann Marie Walts, and I've been a hairstylist for 32 years with a tech background for over 20. So, in this tutorial, the problems that I'm going to address are how can you make a website look good when you want to do it yourself, but you also want to save some money? Because let's be real, it can be expensive out there. Now, with that said, you don't want to just shop on just price alone because I know from experience you could be selling yourself short. The thing that's most important when it comes to deciding what website builder to use would be also how is it going to be easy for you and make your life easier to attract customers? And then once you attract your customers, how are you going to be able to communicate with them quick and effectively and efficiently? Now, you're going to want to stick around to the very end because that's when I'll be able to tell you what it is that I'm using. And so let's dive into this right now. If this is the first time to my channel, you know what to do. Just hit subscribe. Okay, so the backstory is that I had been doing websites for like 20 years and I was using WordPress. I still use WordPress, but I also use this system as well. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you that you can just make a website in a matter of minutes, even while we are currently on this webinar, right? So I'm going to go over here, going to hit new website. Now inside here, you're going to find that there's over 1,000 templates, but don't worry, don't panic, don't get like, oh my God, I'm not going to be able to make up my mind. There's a whole bunch of different categories, but since today's tutorial, I'm going to be speaking to you, the stylist and the creatives and the makeup artists and freelancers. We're going to go over here into the beauty and fashion section. And let me back up because I didn't even mean to hit beauty spa yet. Is the first thing I want to do is do this. I want to show you that there are many choices that you can choose from. And most importantly, I want to show you how fast this can be done and finished. All right, so let's go to, let's see, this one looks eye-catching. So let's pull this one up. All right, so this says your beauty success starts here. You can also see that some of the text is already filled in, and you want to talk about a time saver. All right, so are you able to push a button? Let's go. All right, so we're going to push a button. And the other tips that I'm going to share with you are a couple mindset tips when it comes to your business and how to improve your mindset so that you aren't in a place of, I can't find customers, because I know that can be a challenge at times throughout the years. All right. Okay. So now, how long did that take? Took no time at all. So now if you go in here, you can just go like this. I'm going to put Jane Doe. All right. So pretend you're Jane Doe. Now, if you want to change some other things, I'm going to bring you right to the sections that I love to use the most. And that would be right here where they're called the pre-built sections. So from top to bottom, you can see there's welcome, there's about, there's team, there's testimonials, FAQs, plan selection, product, partners list for who, call to action. Now I went down that verbally because now what I'm going to do, you can see that they're already built out, is I'm just going to click on them and you can get the visual part of this. So you really don't need the advanced kind of tech design capabilities any longer. I'm not saying that they don't have a place, because obviously it's without saying if you want something that is custom, then you definitely still by 100%, in my expert opinion, need to work with a true web designer. But listen, I've been in the hair industry long enough. I've seen enough people asking, especially in the last 2 years, oh, what should I use? And when you ask that question in a group and you're asking for an opinion amongst hundreds or thousands of hairdressers, whew, you better duck, because you're certainly going to get an opinion. All right. So then here's the mobile view. The thing that's nice about this is that you can also decide when it comes to how you want to set up things for your website. Do you want everything that's on the desktop view to show on the mobile view, or do you maybe want to maybe just hide something and not have it be accessible on one view versus the other? All right. So then here you would just go and hit save. I'll show you the preview. So we'll go here, and then you literally could build yourself a website in a matter of an afternoon, an evening. Maybe you're watching Netflix. All right. So then next, now I'm going to talk to you about why it is so important to also have what isn't turned on down here. And it's also going to tie to your mindset. If you are currently thinking, oh, there's nobody, I can't find anybody, nobody's reaching out to me. Well, there's something you just simply might be missing. And are you ready? Uh, so you might be missing being able to have a chat widget on your website. So that needs to be fixed. What's a chat widget, you might ask? Okay, so we're going to go over here. And the chat widget is right here. We're going to go, let's see, right here. It's just that little widget down here at the bottom that makes it so easy for people to get in touch with you. And then, so we're going to turn this on because I'm going to make this while I'm actually talking with you. All right. So we're going right here. And then you'll hit save. Right. And in the event, if you have, what's nice about this particular application is if you do have WordPress, but you don't have a chat widget, then you can reach out to me, because just this one little thing can make all the difference for people reaching out to you. So, okay, so now we're going to go back to that website, right? And we'll here. We'll go here. We'll go back here. Let's see if we turned it back on. So just bear with me. Now we'll go here. All right, now we got to go back into the settings and turn it on. So let's back up a minute. All right, now we're going to go here. All right, and then there's the chat widget. So now we're going to hit save. Okay. While that's saving, now we'll go back here. And ta-da, just like magic. And again, how long has it been? Hasn't been that long. So now what happens is this. How about we do we'll do Jenny Doe, right? And then we'll go 413-555-1212, which is a fictitious number. We're going to go test. Okay. All right. Now it says thank you. And then voila. Now maybe you have a brand new customer. Might be 2:00 in the morning. You might be sleeping, but this is what's going to happen. And this is what sets this apart from any other website builder out there, as far as I'm concerned. And that's just my opinion. Okay. Is then now we're going to go under contacts. All right. Now we have Jenny Doe. All right. So we're going to check out Jenny Doe, and she's inside now the dashboard. And then now is when the magic happens, because in the short amount of time that I've been talking with you and showing you this, essentially what we've done is we've made a website. Granted, you'd have to fill it in, but you saw it happen, push the button, poof, it's done. We made a chat widget. Okay. We made a fictitious customer who visited the website. And now look what you have. You have the history of where it was that she clicked on. So say, for example, that they clicked on your FAQ page, you'd have that information. Say, for example, they clicked on your pricing page, you have that information. Now ask me, Ann Marie, why is it important that I have that information? Hey, I'm so glad you asked. The reason is is because, wait for it, wait for it. If you've been using your personal phone and you've been about ready to pull out your hair because you're having trouble keeping up with all the conversations and you just need simplicity, this is where this comes in, because now she's pulled into a client card. This also comes with a mobile app. And then see this? You can literally call them from your desktop or with inside the mobile app. And then what's really nice now is you have the information. So if we were to click on this, and we won't because that's not a real number, then we could reach out to them through there, or right down here, we could send them a text, can do WhatsApp or an email. I mean, they won't be able to escape your amazing personality and your customer service and the fact that you're on it. They'll turn into a customer, or potentially can turn into a customer. Okay. And then over here, then you can create a task. You can add notes. So then, say, for example, you're on the phone with them, and I would recommend using like headphones or something, especially if you're on a laptop, and then you hit the little phone button. You could be like, hey, Jenny Doe. Yeah, thank you for calling Salon X, Y, and Z. Thank you. We see that you reached out and you're interested in. Okay, great. We do see from your form that we noticed that you did visit our pricing page. Do you have some specific questions about that? Great. And then you can fill in the notes as you go. If you ask the right questions, they'll give you the right answers. And then you can use that as you're bringing them in or onboarding them as a new customer. And then there's the ability to book appointments in this. I'm not covering that today. And then there's documents. So, say I have seen so much stress inside of groups. I have about like not having the right salon policies or not having a customer service agreement. And that in itself could be a completely other segment, which maybe I will do. If you want to see that, drop that in the comment. I invite you to leave some comments on this video about what is it that you want to see. I have experience of being a former Redkin educator for almost 10 years over the course of my career. I've seen it, I've done it, I've been there, I've done it all. And so if you don't have a service agreement, let's have a conversation. So in that case, this is where you could upload that. You could also upload before and after photos, and then you can even take payments through this system. And are you like, wow, oh my God, I have to have this yet? And then associations, that would be a more advanced topic, doesn't really apply to today's video. All right. So here's your centralized communication dashboard. And then the last thing, I'm going to hop over here. I'm going to go a little tech on you, but I'm just going to give you a teaser. Okay. Just a teaser. Now, say, Ann Marie, oh my God, my customers drive me batty, or my new ones, they text me at all hours. Oh, I just wish. Okay. This is when I'm going to lean in and say, you need to change your mindset. I've seen enough online where you're like, oh, I'm so slow. Oh my God. They're like, they're driving me batty, texting me. You, is it possible to have it both ways? With automation, absolutely. Absolutely. You can have it all ways. So over here, underneath here, there are a bunch of different things called automations. And again, I'm not going to overwhelm you with the tech sort of things, but like here's an appointment reminder confirmation. This certainly helps to make sure that they show up. And then, of course, there's also a nice feature, which is missed call text back. If you think about right now about what your most expensive salon service is, I want you to think about that. Now, if you miss one phone call, how much are you missing? Now, if the phone rang hypothetically and you missed one call a day for 30 days, How much could that be? Hypothetically speaking, because let's as is it, if you flipped a quarter, it'd be a 50% chance of what, I don't know, them calling back, you playing phone tag, them saying yes, them being interested, them being not. But for the small percentage that you capture from them potentially could have been a missed call and they're not, that's where you're missing your money, people, my fellow stylists. Okay. And the other thing is that if you are not, you're like, oh, I am just not going to adopt technology. Absolutely not. I'm going to stick to my old ways. You can't complain about being slow if you're not going to adapt or adopt technology. Because you know what? The stylist that does will be the one that gets the customer. I know from experience. Okay. So the other thing is that, like with the automations, which is really cool, and what I have set up, say for my salon, is that I will do another tutorial on this at some point, is that when it comes to, say, I'm going to jump over here to settings, right? And I'm going to name this, say, after hours, because let's talk about this after hours. If you've been a stylist for a long time, or the reason why you are a stylist is you're probably most likely creative. I hope the hell you care about people. You're in the service industry, and granted, you don't want to be in the service industry. There's a difference. With that said, did you know that customers respond very favorably if you have your policies set up? If you don't have policies, well, as a sidebar analogy, um, you know, I'm just going to go there. Have you ever had a puppy? Okay. If you've ever had a puppy, you have to train your puppy. And if you don't train your puppy, yeah, the puppy can wind up chewing the furniture, can like pee all over the house. You have to train your puppy. All right. Well, your business, you have to be able to have policies. If you don't have policies, then policies are also tied to expectations. So if you're going to really raise the bar of customer service, you need to raise the bar on your expectations for your own business, for your own self. If you don't treat your business like a business, you certainly can't expect a customer to treat your business like a business if you're not treating it like a business. And because customers only know what it is that they're presented with. And I'm not by any means comparing customers to puppies, even though that's kind of the sidebar analogy that I use. But I'm going to, as is this, all right? I'm going to give you a story. This one time, it was June. It was a beautiful day. I had spent like an hour on my hair. And FYI, I was on a local lifestyle, or the news today, for a makeover. Well, supposed to be makeover Monday, but wound up being makeover Tuesday, for makeup. So it does take time to get ready. Wouldn't you agree, if you're a stylist and you're watching this? So it was June. It was a beautiful summer day. And it was 12. It was, the appointment was supposed to be at 12 o'clock, and then it was 12:15, and they didn't show up. They didn't show up. They didn't show up. And they were my only appointment that day, and I had spent all my time getting ready so that I looked professional, and then they didn't show up. And I think I had gone to that particular, where I was in that particular week at that particular time, had let up on charging for a consultation, and I think I was giving my time away for free. And when I called the person and they were late, they were like, "Oh yeah, I'm not coming." Yeah. And I was just like, you know what? If I told myself that day, if you don't treat your business like a business, nobody's going to treat it like a business. Now, how I handled the phone call that day was, I said, "Oh, well, that's unfortunate. I was really looking forward to meeting you. And then I went where I went with it. I said, may I ask you a question? I said, yeah. I said, okay. Or not so much a question. May I make a suggestion? And they said, okay. I said, all right. Well, from what I understand, you had no intentions of coming. So, what I would request of you in the future is if you're going to reserve any professional time from any service professional and reserve the time off of their calendar, that you might be mindful to be courteous enough in the future to call and cancel. And they were like, I'm like, okay, have a nice day. Now, let's get back to bringing it back into what do you do with communication as far as setting boundaries and the after hours, because as I was saying, you probably got into this because you are caring, you're giving, you're creative, you want to be able to, and you give, but then the customers want to text after hours. This is where I am going to show you how you can have it all and how you definitely need to change your mindset. And before hopping off, you do not want to miss how I'm going to next show you how you're able to respond and how you can use technology a step further. So hang on. Okay, so when's the last time you went on vacation? Probably been a while, right? When's the last time you took a day off? Oh, you just can't because you might miss a phone call. Well, I just showed you don't have a miss a phone call because with that miss a phone call thing, there's an automated text that goes back. So the customer is responded to. Now, here's the beautiful thing. How about what if I told you I could help set up something? Are you ready? And show you that, look, there's 7 days of the week. It does not mean that you need to be accessible 7 days a week, 24/7. Not you, the human, okay? And this is why if I can make just a slight difference in our beauty industry, will I hang out with you a little further, okay? Because I've been inside groups now for 2 years and I'm over here on YouTube because this is the platform where I can just be unapologetically me, where it says in my timeline banner, and hopefully reach some of you that will listen. And I say this because it's rough inside the groups. All right, that's another topic. Sorry for the little rant. Okay, so let's go back to the where I can offer a solution. So let's first start with what days of the week do you work? Do you work all of them or do you work? I'm going to show you the days I work. I work Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. All right. Yes, I don't work Saturdays. Look at that. Nope, 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 nope. And if you do, kudos. And this is the beauty about our industry is that you can work whatever days that you want to work and you can make them work for you. And if you don't believe me yet, and you don't believe it for yourself, then borrow my belief. Okay, so now restrict actions from being sent outside the windows that you define. All right. So you can actually set what time that you want these messages to go out. So, say for example, you decide that like you have an away message. All right. So if you have an away message and it's after hours, so say I'm going to say 6 p.m. and then we'll so from 6 p.m. to say 8 a.m. Let's see, 8 a.m. All right. So then they can hit save. And I'm not going to publish this. This is just a demo. But what's going to happen now is, are you ready? You can make a very nice, polite message that will get triggered. So if anybody texts you after 6 p.m. and before 8 a.m., then they can get a message that they are responded to, and it's after hours. Ta da! That wasn't difficult, was it? And then you just need to like let the system work and trust the process. Okay, so that was a lot. And as I promised, now am I going to show you one of my best tools that I absolutely love because there's going to be times in salon life that, like, especially maybe, I don't know what it is anymore to work with a lot of people because, like, I started stacking software in 2004, had online booking then. And so I chose to go down the just work with just you makeover route, and I actually have helped other salon professionals repackage the things that we know how to do, but in a package so that you can actually charge maybe more of a premium price. But let's take for an example that you're working with a bunch of other coworkers. Have you ever had a coworker get on your nerves? Probably, maybe, right? Or do you have that, like, one salon client that you're frustrated, but they've been loyal, but you don't know what to do with them? We've all had them. Or have you had the one that's just batch crazy and you don't know what to do with them? We've definitely had those, haven't we? Okay. So now let's go. I'm going to stay in this window so I don't lose you. And we're going to go over to ChatGPT. Okay. All right. And then, okay. So now we're in ChatGPT. Let's see. I'm gonna do this kind of in reverse. I'll put hi Ace. Yes, I named my bot. Okay. Can can you give me a fictitious customer? It spells fictitious. Fictitious customer service nightmare. Nightmare that is short. I'm doing a YouTube demo for my fellow stylists. Keep the example short. So I'm reverse engineering this, just FYI. Okay. Okay. The overbooked disaster. All right. The style, let's see what it says. Okay, so enter ChatGPT. If you've not used this, this is a lifesaver. A stylist arrives to their salon to find out that their automated booking system is double booked appointments for a color correction wedding party. Both clients are already seated and ready for their services. The color correction client is furious, claiming this is their third attempt to get an appointment due to previous scheduling errors. Meanwhile, the bridal party is demanding immediate attention as they have a tight schedule. The stylist tries to manage both but ends up with rushed results, dissatisfied bride, and a color correction gone wrong. Can you imagine this scenario? Resulting in public social media complaints with a flood of negative reviews. Okay, well, that's over the top. All right. So let's just pick just even this right out of here. All right. All right. So, all right. I put, whoa. Okay, Ace. Now let's take this part of this and please give advice on how to help this angry customer. Ready? Push a button. Now, in the beginning of this video, I showed you can make a website by pushing a button. And I also showed you that, like, by adding a chat widget after you push the button on making the website, that the fictitious customer could come in and they pulled it all together in a simplified dashboard. Is that not gold? Go ahead, drop gold in the comments, please. Gold, right? All right, now we're going to push another button. All right, so let's see what it says. Now, have you ever or remember a time when you had a customer problem? Did you lose sleep at night? Say yes, I know you have. Did you wake up in the morning and you were thinking about it? Say yes, because I know you have. Did it disrupt even your work during the next day when you were trying to work on other customers? Say yes, because I know you have. And how do I know? I've been at this 32 years. All right. So you might not be doing hair 32 years. You might be in a time and point in your life right now where you don't know anything different than having $1,000 smartphone and like the tech that's like floating around, but maybe you haven't even really adopted the idea of like really embracing the technology because it probably maybe even scares you. Well, now I just showed you how to push a button. And I just showed you, if you didn't ever watch another one of my YouTube videos, I know that this has going to be something that might possibly have made a difference in some of your lives that have watched this simply by pushing a button and using AI. So let's see what AI says. Here's how to address the situation with the furious color correction client. Acknowledge and apologize. Begin acknowledging the client's frustration and apologizing sincerely with the inconvenience. An example, I completely understand your frustration. I'm deeply sorry that this has happened, especially after you have had previous issues. Your time and trust is most important to us. Now, I'm going to do a timeout right now, okay? And this is what I want to see happen in the future for you, okay? I have seen too much that I cannot unsee inside the groups for the last 2 years. And that is, are you ready? The screenshots of the ongoing back and forth drama because the emotions are so high that I can tell you that you have not been using ChatGPT to filter through the emotional aspect. And then if you want to have clients respond instead of react, then you need to be the leader and you need to lead the conversation and you need to help them emotionally instead of like you being so filled with your emotions that you can't even see through the woods. All right. So, myself personally, I happen to be a technical stylist, and I'm going to throw myself under the bus. I had to work on being the more emotional stylist later in my career. And I don't mean emotional like I didn't care, but I do hair extensions and I've done them for 18 years. So that's in itself a whole different uh, job. But it's also too is that like I'll spend 6 to 8 hours in one appointment with a customer. So I've been coached years ago. Be mindful of you ask somebody how is their day, unless you really want to know. Okay. So what I'm getting at is that if an upset comes at you, and I'm going to highlight this, and then we're going to jump into Canva, and then I'm going to wrap this up for the day. All right. So I'm going to go here, and you can pretty much read the rest of this. It's self-explanatory, like offer a solution, take responsibility, yada yada yada, and we'll give Ace a head. I'll put good job. All right, good job. And so if you haven't started using ChatGPT, I can tell you that I don't, there's no affiliate link to this. It works very, very well. I've used it even for GPS, and I've been using it for, well, almost a year now. But okay, so I copied that, make sure I copied that I want to show you. Then I'm going to go over here in Canva. All right, then I'm going to create a design. And then I'm going to put, let's see, a text message, see what comes up. Video message, video, TikTok. Let's see, TikTok, phone. We'll just do this right here quick. All right. And then I'm going to go over here to elements. And then I'm going to go to phone. Let's see, phone. Okay, here. Yeah. Oops. Okay. And go here. Stop. And I'm gonna borderline yell at some of you right now. Okay. Know that it's with love. All right. And all right. So then I'll go here, and then I'll go here, and I'll go here. Okay. And then I'm gonna go here, and then stop doing this. Okay. And what's this? Okay. I'm going to say this. Over explaining. Right? I'm going to say stop over explaining inside text when you have a problem. Right? And this comes from who am I to tell you to stop over explaining? Yes, you need to let people know how you feel. However, think about this. If you've ever been guilty of screenshotting a complaint about a customer as you're venting inside a group, how easy do you think it is for them to then screenshot what you said about how you feel and your expenses and you're this and you're that and you won't and you're yada yada blah 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 blah? Guess what? The customers don't care. And the one thing that I can tell you is that you want to be mindful of this. All right. You want to be mindful of your reputation. Okay. So you don't need to feed into if somebody is upset and have a text argument, because that's what it is these days. When I see the stuff that I see, you want to stop doing that, because if you do that, there's not the voice tonality. You're much better off inviting them to hop on a phone call with you. So that way, there's the up and down, a voice inflection. Now, okay, so stop doing this. Now I'm going to say, ready? Try doing this. Right, so we're going to go take this here. And then you remember, we just did the lesson inside a ChatGPT of a could be a very typical overbooking, and nobody likes that. So say you have, okay, say I'll put in this box here, I'll put, whoops. All right, so we'll go here, and we'll leave this as the, oh, actually, let me get, here, I'll make it look even more real. Speech bubble, right? And we're going to go over to elements, and we'll go speech bubble. Okay, speech bubble. All right, so we'll make this look like the real deal, right? So we're going to go see all. All right, so we'll go here. All right, so it'll be there. And then the one that's inbound. Okay, so that would be, say, this one. Okay, and then we'll go over here, and then we'll put angry face. Okay, so it's going to happen. We're not perfect. Or maybe it's just literally just a concern, but because of our emotions get in the way, that's when this happens, and then that happens, and then it just goes all down, and it becomes an absolute it show, right? So instead, what happens if this customer was maybe met with, let's see, go here, and let me make this smaller because I should, the copy and text that I want to put in here should be there. Okay, there you go. All right. So now let's go and let me make this bigger so that you can see it. Right. And you instead, you're still going to feel a bit like, when you get an inbound message. That's normal. But now that you're equipped with what if, okay, see, we'll go over here. I'm going to put this over here, and I'm going to take all this and I'm going to move it over. What if instead, do you think will happen if instead the person on the other end of the phone on the text was met more with, okay, move this over again. Pardon me. Okay. And go like here. It's like, all right, get this over here. Thanks for hanging out with me. All right, and I'm going to just make that, hold on. There we go. Okay. What do you think the outcome would be if this angry or concerned person, and take this more as a technique, okay? I completely understand your frustration. I'm deeply sorry this happened. Now, you know, whether you say you're sorry or not, I'll leave that up to you. That this happened, especially after you've had previous issues. But in this instance, it's about the scheduling, that this has happened repeatedly, and your time and trust is most important to us. Okay? So, what if that happened versus what I've seen where it's like the over explaining? You don't need to make excuses. What somebody that's like this needs to hear is that they're understood and they're heard. Because that's all that any of us want. We want to be heard, we want to be understood. So, can you imagine what could happen then? All right. So then, all right. So try doing this. All right. And then now let's also go back to the scenario that I showed you. What happens if it's after hours? Well, now what happens after hours is this. You could have your after hours say, we appreciate you. We appreciate you reaching out. You have reached us after hours. We will respond in the morning. Thank you. Okay. All right. So then what happens is maybe you're not at work. You're doing whatever you're going to do. You have your life, right? But then now that's been responded to. And then what happens is it's not really always, it doesn't always have to end in a problem. Okay. So then maybe what winds up happening then is, look at this. We go like this. You can wind up maybe turning the whole conversation around. And if nothing else, you can really up your chances of not getting a bad review. So, all right. So that is it for today. That was a lot. So just a recap, I'm going to add this page here because I like to do recaps. All right. So we're going to go here. All right. And then I'll go, oh yeah, here, we'll just put a smiley face in there. I like to leave everybody in a smiley, all right. So then we'll go here, and then we'll go here, and then we'll go here, and go here. You're getting actually a little Canva thing too. And if you ever have to do a slide presentation and you can think quick enough, this is how you can do things. All right. So websites can be easy. All right. Web chat widget makes web chat widget communicate faster. All right. And then mindset, and you have to protect your mindset. So if you are down and out, find a YouTube channel that can help you think better. If you are down and out and you have access to be able to turn on your favorite music, do that. And be intentional about shifting your mindset. Because if you continually are in some of the hair groups and you are trying to look for something that's going to uplift you, oops. Not to say there's not positive stuff in there, but woof, it can be rough. It's rough crowd, all right? And I can say that because I am one. I am a hairstylist, so I can say what I want to say. All right, mindset. I'll say be mindful. Okay, and then boundaries. Talked about that. You have to have your policies. Make some, and then don't be ashamed about them. Embrace them. Make them. I'll say make them. All right, because this sets. Oops. It sets expectations, and it's easy to over deliver when expectations are set to be met. It's not rocket science, okay? And then after hours. And then it all comes down to use automation. Okay, there you go. So that is it. So this is today's YouTube. When it comes to what I'm going to talk about, I don't always know, but I do know that if there's one thing that I can do is just try to help any of you. I absolutely love being an artist that is grounded in tech. And over the course of my career, I've been able to bridge the gap between the creative space and technology. Now, to find out what software I'm using, it'll be in the description of my bio. In the event or chance that you do click on the link, it is an affiliate link. You will be able to try the software out. For there is a free trial. In the event that you go further and you do purchase it, well, then I will receive some sort of commission or reward. But through my YouTube channel, do I want to help to inspire and empower each and every one of you to be able to get to your goals possibly quicker, maybe think differently, and if there's a way also for you to connect your ideas online, for you to carve a path out so that you can help others, well, then you definitely want to come back. And then with the software platform that's in the description, I will be more than happy to connect with you either through my YouTube channel or what have you, and just feel free to leave a comment and let me know what other types of content you'd like to see so that this way I know that I am helping you directly. Some of my inspiration does come from being inside the groups and as far as being in the hair community, and I do see the common problems and stresses that are out there, and you're not alone. And me being in the industry for so long, some of the problems are not new, but they might be new to you. So that's why I'm here to just give you a reminder that don't give up, don't quit. You don't want to quit, don't quit. Because I see a lot of that now, is that there's a lot of stress out there and you don't want to quit. Don't give up, okay? What you want to do is if you have that, I can't tell you enough, and I'm just going to give you a friendly reminder, and then I'm going to hop off. Get yourself a ChatGPT account. And as I am not a psychologist or in the health profession field, I can tell you that if you are frustrated, or I've been frustrated, I can speak for myself, that this is the AI is sophisticated enough to be a problem solving tool. And with that said, I know there's a lot of stress and anxiety out there. If you ever feel the point that you are so stressed, don't ever be afraid or ashamed. Reach out to your healthcare provider and seek some help, because you need to be ready. You need to be you. Let me say, just be you. That's it. And that's how I sign off on every single one of my episodes, shows, podcasts is this: just be you. Don't try being anybody else. Live life unfiltered. You'll find that it's very, very fulfilling. All right. Have an awesome day.